Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and we may finally be coming to a close with the Dungeons & Dragons OGL situation. I say maybe because with the Dungeons & Dragons live-action movie coming up, that could, play a part in how Hasbro/Papa Wizards handles all this, as well as the fact that a new OGL is still coming. Like, it absolutely is. But it seems like Wizards, at least if they're to be trusted, are going to give fans and creators a lot more say in the matter. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this article. It is from Kotaku, so, take it with a grain of salt. And full disclosure, while I do normally go in completely blind, read the article with you guys, and react and commentate on it based on what I'm reading, I did skim this one in advance because there's been so much new D&D news as of late, and we've been covering a lot of it, that I wanted to make sure another video about it would be worth it, that it had enough new information. And at least, for what I've covered, it seems like it does. So a lot of this will still be new to me, but just know I did skim it. Let's go through here. Dungeons & Dragons owners sorry after week of very bad press. Well, I guess it's true. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Let's just see if the fans are willing to give it to you. Wizards say they can't and won't let things continue like this. Wizards of the Coast, the company responsible for Dungeons & Dragons, have not had a great week. As IO9 reported, plans for a revision of D&D's open gaming license, through which other games from other people can borrow some of D&D's systems, went down terribly, facing opposition from both fans and other tabletop publishers alike. I mean, I'd say that's a bit of an understatement of a paragraph, but yes, that is accurate. As reported last week, Wizards had plans for a new OGL that significantly restricts the kind of content allowed and requires anyone making money under the license to report their products to Wizards of the Coast directly. Reaction to this leaked proposal was so negative that, as Dicebreaker pointed out, an onslaught of bad press that included competitors such as Paizo and Kobold Press created an independently monitored open license for developing their own tabletop games. Now, here's the thing. I hope this still happens. While what Wizards has to say, you guys will see coming up, the part that I skimmed, is hopefully very good. It is a step in the right direction. That does not mean that Kobold and Paizo should be like, oh, Wizards is fixing stuff now? Okay, we're going to drop the lawsuits, we're not going to make our own gaming license. No. They still absolutely should, because we need competition in the market. Because if Kobold and Paizo and them decide to drop this, and we're just at Wizards' mercy again if things go south again. So I really hope they continue with what they already plan to do going forward, even if Wizards walks back the vast majority of what we're seeing here. Now, having had time to survey the records, Wizards has acknowledged that they got it wrong. They're very wrong. Gee, you think? It's amazing to me that they probably knew this was wrong beforehand. Like, I like how the article's like, Wizards acknowledged they got it wrong. They knew it was wrong to begin with. They just didn't think that we would have the spines and the wallets to stand up and fight. But anyway, in a blog post published earlier today, Kyle Brink, executive producer on D&D, said, "Let me start with an apology. We're sorry. We got it wrong." Brink says that going forward, Wizards will be more open and transparent, and that future changes to the OGL will be done in consultation with fans. You can read the full statement below. Well, before we go through his statement, I want to say, look, I'm going to believe it when I see it. It's nice to hear it, but actions speak louder than words. And Wizards has been garbage for a long time now. Now, how much of that is Big Daddy Hasbro making Wizards lick their boot and do what they don't want to do in a way that is hurting us fans? That very well could be the case. I want to believe that Wizards of the Coast are really the good guys in this, but they're the good guys that are subjugated to doing bad things. Does that make them bad guys? I mean, I don't know. If you kidnap somebody and say, hey, I've got your daughter kidnapped, you're going to go kill 3 people, or I'm going to kill your daughter. Does the guy who goes out and kills 3 people, is he the bad guy, or is he just trying to, save his daughter? Why, maybe that's the position Wizards in. What have you done to Wizards' daughter, Hasbro? Anyway, my point is, maybe Wizards aren't the bad guys, maybe they are. It's up for debate, but let's read through this statement. Hi, I'm Kyle Brink, the executive producer on D&D. It's my team that makes the game we all play. D&D has been a huge part of my life long before I worked at Wizards and will be for a long time after I'm done. My mission, and that of the entire D&D team, is to help bring everyone the creative joy and lifelong friendships that D&D has given us. These past days and weeks have been incredibly tough for everyone. As players, fans, and stewards of the game, we can't and we won't let things continue like this. I'm here today to talk about a path forward. Our language and requirements in the draft OGL were disruptive to creators and not in support of our core goals of protecting and cultivating the inclusive play environment and limiting the OGL to TTRPGs. Then we compounded things by being silent for too long. We hurt fans and creators, and more frequent and clear communications could have prevented so much of this. I mean, again, not wrong in anything he said. I'm hoping for actions over words, but I will take what we can get this early on. Starting now, we're going to do this a better way, more open and transparent with our entire community of creators, with the time to iterate, to get feedback, to improve. If this sounds familiar, it's because it's how we do it for the game itself, so let's do it that way for the OGL too. We'll listen to you, and then we will share with you what we've heard, much like what we do in our Unearthed Arcana and 1D&D playsets. This will be a robust conversation before we release any future versions of the OGL. So here's the thing. You know how they say, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is? That's the vibe I'm getting here. This is just too good to be true. Like, what? This billion-dollar company is listening to us, the fans, and they're going to include us on the decision-making process and be transparent with us? It just sounds too good to be true. I mean, at the end of the day, this will be a robust conversation before we release any future versions of the OGL. Yeah, you can say that, and you can, let us have our say on the internet and whatnot, but are you just saying this to placate us so that we don't run off to start supporting Paizo and Kobold Press and all these other, tabletop RPGs? Are you just trying to satiate us and in turn come out with something that is it may be less disruptive and maybe sounds prettier, but it's still going to be crap for us at the end so that you can monetize more? I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But this just sounds too good to be true, and it sounds like you're trying to placate people when there might be something a little bit more mysterious, a little more nefarious going on behind the scenes. I'd roll a nat 20 for perception, but frankly, I think you may have cursed my dice, wizards. Here's what to expect. On or before Friday, January 20th, we will share a new proposed OGL documentation for your review and feedback, much as we do with playset materials. After you review the proposed OGL, you will be able to fill out a quick survey, much like Unearthed Arcana playset feedback surveys. It will ask you specific questions about the document and include open form fields to share any other feedback you have. The survey will remain open for at least 2 weeks, and we will give you advance notice before it closes so that everyone who wants to participate can complete the survey. Then we will compile, analyze, react to, and present back to you what we heard from you. Finally, you deserve some stability and clarity. You know what? Before I read this next part, this is interesting. The survey will remain open for 2 weeks. We'll give you advance notice before it closes. Anyone watching this, comment down below if you would like me to live stream filling this out. And in fact, we could all fill it out together. We could talk in chat about, what you guys are thinking, how you're feeling, and maybe have some sort of core, concise, individually but yet cumulative ideas for the community. Like, I don't know how far this video will reach. Obviously, if you think this is a great idea, a live stream where we all go through this together, fans, content creators, the whole nine, share this video, that would be even better. And we can make an event of this of sorts, whether it be the January 20th date, like he said, sometime a little after maybe, whatever is preferred. But I think that could be a really good way to get this moving. Let's fill out this survey together in a live stream. Comment below if you think that's something you want, if you want to do, if you think would be a great idea. I'm actually really liking the idea the more I'm thinking on it. It would also be my very first live stream on YouTube, so, take with that what it will. By the way, just let me know in the comments below, and I will see what I can do to get that sort of thing worked out. Anyway. Finally, you deserve some stability and clarity. We are committed to giving creators both input into and room to prepare for any update to the OGL. Also, there's a ton of stuff that isn't going to be affected by an OGL update. So today, right now, we'll lay out all the areas that this conversation won't touch. Any changes to the OGL will have no impact on at least these creative efforts. Alright, this is the part that I'm sure the vast majority of people are interested in. Your video content. Whether you are a commentator, streamer, podcaster, live play cast member, or other video creator on platforms like YouTube and Twitch and TikTok, you've always been covered by Wizards fan community policy. The OGL doesn't and won't touch any of this. Right here, they are trying to appease Critical Role. At least they know that they cannot succeed without them at this point. Your accessories for your own content. No changes to the OGL will affect your ability to sell minis, novels, apparel, dice, and other items related to your creations, characters, and worlds. Yeah, because before, the Wizards would have owned all that stuff under the new OGL they proposed. So, again, good move. Non-published works. For instance, contracted services. You use the OGL if you want to publish your works that reference 5th edition content through SRD. That means commissions work, paid DM services, consulting, and so on aren't affected by the OGL. VTT content. Any updates to the OGL will still allow any creator to publish content on VTTs and will still allow VTT publishers to use OGL content on their platform. DM's Guild content. The content you release on DM's Guild is published under a community content agreement with Dungeon Masters Guild. This is not changing. Your OGL 1.0A content. Nothing will impact any content you have published under OGL 1.0 that will always be licensed under OGL 1.0. Okay, so basically what they're saying is they're not going to backdate this. Even if they do make changes that we don't like, it's not going to be backdated to affect the previous stuff that you've already done, reference the whole nine. And again, I think that might be one of the most important things. I'm not trying to side with Wizards. I'm also not going to actively side against them. If we fans are being listened to and we're getting what we want, we need to, while not just fall to their feet and be, oh, thank you, great masters, this is all we've requested. And, but we do need to respect that, hey, they're willing to meet us somewhere. Let's also meet them, try and hash some stuff out. So I'm going to give them the bit of credit that this does sound good if they adhere to it, and I think they're making the correct moves. Your revenue. There will be no royalty or financial reporting requirements. Your ownership of your content. You will continue to own your content with no license back requirements. That's all from me now. You will hear again from us on or before Friday as described above, and we look forward to the conversation. Kyle Brink, Executive Producer, Dungeons & Dragons. Alrighty, so that is the end of that article, and I think that this is a good sign. Now, I really do. I'm not necessarily on board with, removing the boycott for the, Honor Among Thieves film. I think that, maybe we should still keep, at least for now, that boycott going until we have some more information. The movie doesn't come out till March 31st. This, survey will be out January 20th. Let's continue to boycott Honor Among Thieves until we have more information, because we do want to send the message home. We don't want to just, drop all of our guns and then stop pointing them at each other and be like, okay, you know what, we give in, only for Wizards to take us by surprise, whip out more guns, and just start blasting. So, I think that for now, continue to state that we will be boycotting Honor Among Thieves until, this is resolved, but also state that we will be open to consideration and going over the new OGL, working together as a community, and genuinely and truly hoping for the best. I also think that, Paizo and Kobold should continue with what they were going to work on, but also maybe meet in the middle with, Wizards of the Coast. It's a very tenuous situation. It's very tense, but it looks like good could come out of this. And other than that, what do you think about the live stream option? Like I said, that just came to me while I was recording this, and I really like the idea. So definitely comment below if you think that would be a great idea, as well as comment below about anything else you think in regards to this video. And when I say a live stream filling it out, that doesn't mean we're just going to be all positive and happy about it. Like, we might say some scathing things to Wizards, or maybe we're honest about things that will be good. So live streaming doesn't mean we're, gonna suckle at the teat of Wizards. We're going to be honest about how we feel as gamers, and we're going to go through the OGL, the survey, the whole nine. But yeah, that's something I'm really interested in, but obviously, if it doesn't have the demand, that it's a pretty big undertaking that doesn't have the demand. So comment if you want that done. Share this. We can make it a big event. And other than that, please subscribe. If this is a bit new to you, if you're not completely caught up, I have several other videos detailing this entire event, as well as, what it has done to the community. And maybe you're more interested in Magic the Gathering. I've got videos on that. Or anime, or Gwen Stefani of all things. World of Warcraft. Basically, any drama in the nerdosphere, I've got covered. So by all means, come here for news in the nerdosphere. But until next time, this has been Words of Paradise.